What's up, everyone? So we're going to make a quick video because we're living in a time in history where it's very possible to generate high amounts of freedom by investing in the right things. Let me explain. Don't you believe it's crazy that some people 8 years ago just invested in a few digital assets, and if they had diamond hands, if they were able to keep these assets, manage their emotions properly, that is not selling them, now these people can just retire because basically they've hold the right assets. So the purpose of this video is not to talk about these cryptocurrencies that everybody wish they had bought in 2013 or 14 or 15 or even 17. So if for you, what more freedom means in your life basically means having a better ability to travel, go to the restaurants, to go and live from another country, just have this peace of mind of being like, I don't depend on one single source of income, such as a job or such as some savings that you have because you're traveling during 3 months and you've saved for X amount of time. And now you just have 10 days left of holidays and you need to get back to your country or wherever your base is. The idea now is to talk about this new asset class that are digital collectibles, non-fungible tokens. And I'd like to start by sharing with you a timeline of the digital NFTs that we've seen so far. So perhaps you're familiar with that Cryptopunk NFT, right? The one that you see right there. And that was created in 2017. And if you look at the floor price of that NFT right now, we're talking about 48 ETH. That is, in today's price, it's 83,000. And if you had watched this a year ago, it was even more expensive. It's fluctuating a lot. But basically, this has gained a very established value, right? People believe that this is worth a lot of money. If you look another one here in the map, Etherrocks just got sold. One of those NFTs got sold a few months ago for 1.3 million. So now the question is, how can you structure your decisions so that if you decide to invest into NFTs, you pick the good ones? Perhaps not the ones that are going to go parabolical and then you're going to make it a 20x in 6 months. Something a bit more conservative. And that's the idea of that analysis and the series of videos that are going to come in this channel. So if you're listening to this, if you're in the audio format and you want to have a visual, I'm going to drop the link in the comment section of this podcast. That being said, let us look a little bit more at this map I just showed you. So this is a map of historical NFTs. That is, everybody now is talking about the new giraffe. I don't know what type of NFTs. Most of the times they're animals and nothing against animals, right? It's just this trend of having sometimes giraffes, sometimes elephants, ducks, sometimes some zombies, and that's the new cool thing, right? But you're looking mainly at new NFTs. It's new stuff, brand new. And 99% of the new NFTs that you see out there, they're going to go to zero. 95% of the market is built on hype. So if you look at this map, some of those NFTs have gained some established value. And why do they have established values? Because they're the first ones, because they have a different thesis. This, for example, now, if you buy a CryptoPunk, right now you need 80K. So this video is not made for someone who's willing to invest 80K. This video is made for someone who has a little bit of understanding about NFTs or that is trying to understand it and that wants to perhaps get his first NFTs or that want to diversify a little bit, but would like to understand how to pick more conservative things. CryptoPunk, let me show you another graph right here. What happens with CryptoPunk? CryptoPunk, you see it here, right? Row 12. CryptoPunk was created in 2017, June 23rd. So what's the thesis with that NFT? The thesis with that one is that it's the first 10,000 profile picture collection. The first one of something of a specific kind on the Ethereum blockchain. This is like buying the shoes of Napoleon or buying the first very painting of a Picasso. If you have a collector's mindset right now, if you buy the first of something of its kind, it's always going to be more valuable than something else. If you buy the first Da Vinci painting, but imagine getting the very first Picasso, it's always going to be more expensive. It's always going to have a very strong established value. So that's why Cryptopunks has a very strong established value, and it's considered as the OG NFT, and very famous people are trying to get it. Now, of course, if you go out of that map and tell me, well, Gary, you know, my cousin got rich by investing into this NFT last year, just dropped, it's called Bored Ape. Of course, some NFTs have a lot of utility, have a great community, have a lot of plans. Of course, some of them can make you rich, but I believe that if you want to be a bit more conservative, you're way better off trying to understand a bit better what's the history of NFTs and what's the individual thesis of those historical NFTs from 2018 and before, right? When everybody goes right, try to go left, you know, don't buy on the hype. My idea right now is to look at a very specific project that I think has quite a lot of potential, and it is that one here. It's called Curio Cards. Why I believe Curio Cards are a great long-term investment that have proven to have a long-term established value is for the following reason. Cryptopunk was created on the 23rd of June, 2017. Curio Card was created in May, even before Cryptopunks. Now, let us take a look at those Curio Cards, right? So let's go to OpenSea, the place where you can buy NFTs. If you go and check Curio Cards, you'll notice that you only have 30 items. Why? Because this is a 2017 project. It's not been built in the same way as traditional 2021, 2022 NFTs. So what you have here is 30 different cards. And for each and every one of these cards, there are different units. Let's check out their websites. It's here. And just click here on the first link, Curio Cards. And what you will basically see here is, for example, that one, the Apple, that's the number one. That's the very first Curio Card that's being created. And there is a supply of 2,154 of these apples, right? And then for number two, that's a different one. The supply is lower. Number 8, people say that this is one of the first Mona Lisas on the Ethereum blockchain as an NFT. Here's the thesis. Why the Mona Lisa is currently selling for 0.4 ETH. The thesis there, this is the very first Mona Lisa, the art Mona Lisa on the Ethereum blockchain as an NFT. A very interesting one for me is also that one here, the Apple. Why is that one so valuable? Why that one has a floor price of 2 ETH right now? Because this is the very first card of the Curio Cards. So in a sense, it's the very first artwork on the Ethereum blockchain. This is why right now this is so valuable. And will that be more valuable in 2 years, in 3 years? I think so. Since we're talking about generating more freedom to travel, it also means to have less ties. Right? Right now, people that have money, they don't like to have that money in the bank account because with inflation, you're losing money every day, basically, by just having money on the bank, right? But instead, what you can do is invest in real estate and shares and stocks and all of that, right? But in a way, if you invest in real estate, you're always bound to a specific place. You're always responsible for physical assets. Whereas with NFTs that have a long-term established value, you can be in Dubai, you can be in Spain, you can be in France, you can be in Morocco, you can be in Colombia, you can be in the States, you can be anywhere, and your wealth is still just in one place. So that's the beauty of digital assets, of NFTs. If you pick the good one, and you buy it at a good price, not only does it increase in price over time, but it also generates you more freedom because you're not bound to that investment that you've made in France because you bought an apartment and now the tenants broke something, and they're not paying the rent anymore, and you need to be there and initiate some procedures and all of that. You have an asset that you can manage from your laptop. Curio Cards, that's a good one. There are a lot of them right now. If you check the page on OpenSea, you need to analyze the supply. For example, that one, number 23, the reason why it was sold for 42 ETH. So 42 ETH in today's price, that's roughly 80K. A few months ago, it was 160K. Look at the supply of that one. There is only 250 of those ones. And then the deeper you go into the rabbit hole, you'll see that, you've heard these stories about people losing their secret passphrase and losing all their Bitcoin because they didn't remember their code and all of that. It's the same thing with NFTs, and especially those old NFTs. Some people just forgot the passphrase, the secret code of their digital wallet, so they don't have access to those NFTs anymore. So you can see here in OpenSea, there is only 42 on OpenSea. What about the rest of the 250? We don't know. For sure, some of them got lost. What about the Apple, right? We say that's the very first one. Let's check how many you can find on OpenSea. So there are less than 1,000. So, it means that there will never be more than 1,000 people on Earth that will own the very first NFT artwork on the Ethereum blockchain. When you think about it, that's crazy. Because how many millionaires there is on Earth, right? How many billionaires will realize at some point that they want to have at least one Bitcoin because there is a click and they understand that this is something that they want. The same way that we will, and we are kind of already experiencing mass adoption with cryptos, this will happen with NFTs. And not the regular NFT 2022. And again, a lot of good NFTs in 2022. But a lot of people are going to realize that historical NFTs have a lot of value. No longer than 10 months ago, the average price was 15 ETH. 15 ETH back when ETH was at 3K. That's almost 50K. So imagine almost 50K. Imagine now you invest in that one for 3.3K. And you have diamond hands, just like these guys, 2016, that bought Bitcoin and they had diamond hands. They didn't sell, or perhaps they took some profits along the way. Do you know the amount of freedom that they've generated? I think that's the end. I hope you really enjoyed it. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.